I'm Christy. I'm with Junk Journal Boss, and let's see if I can get my camera straight. There we go. This is my second live stream of the day, and it's just really great fun. So, before I do this, I would like to, let's see. Okay. All right. Welcome, welcome. My name's Christy. I am with Junk Journal Boss. And today, or this past few weeks, we've been working on this journal. And I'm to the part where I need to start embellishing the pages. So some of the page edges are done, and that's what I showed you guys last week. Some of them are, well, most of them aren't really fancy, but if you want to see more, there are videos around, I think. I think I only did 2. But what we're going to do this time, maybe we'll build one more of these. And then I'm going to show you how to make these cute little let's see. All right. I hope I can remember how to make this one. Okay, my pages are here. Yes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just get started. And I'm going to just pull out a few page edges. Let me make sure that I understand what I'm doing still, because this one is one that I made a long time ago. Okay, yeah. I think I understand. It looks like it's like this. Folding this in half. All right. So now I've got a page that has been folded in 4 pieces, right? And I think what I would like to do is maybe just cut off some of these edges that have a lot of white. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And I'm probably going to have to fold it again, because it looks like I'm now off center. But both sides have, you know, pretty much blocks of writing. So I'm going to fold it in half, and let me go ahead and do another hamburger fold. And I'm good with that. And I'll just make this folded part the back. And you know, something I've always wanted to do with you guys is to just do, you know, bulk things. So today I am going to, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and fold one corner, the inside one, right? And then I'm going to fold the outside one. And what I'm looking for is for them to just be staggered. Okay. All right. And if you want to see it a little bit better, you can ink the edges. You can decorate the edges if you want to, or whatever works for you. So once I've got that done, I am going to want to glue all of these top layers together, just right here and one of them here. So I'm going to make this a couple more times for you guys, and that way you don't miss anything. If my glue would come out. All right, let's just use this. So I've got that. And then I also want to glue these down. Okay, and let me grab some ink. All right, so I got a whole bunch of new ink, so I'm going to use a new color. And this might end up looking weird, but that's okay. I do want to try my new colors. I tend to only really be interested in using the brown colored, the vintage colored ink, but I'm going to try it with this time, because the journal that we've been working on is really colorful for the most part. And so I want to go ahead and reflect that color in my embellishments. So, because this probably wouldn't look it wouldn't mesh very well with that journal, but it would work in lots of other journals that I've done. So I'm just going to go ahead and just keep inking the edges. And, you know, if you want to, you can always, you know, grab one of these, or one of these with one of the rounded spreaders. But I'm just going to do it this way, just to kind of give it some more color. Go into there a little bit. And I like this. So I'm going to make it pretty much like this. And so what we're going to need to do is just really dig into our scraps today, okay? And I'm going to use one of these, and I just kind of want to tear a piece off. All right, and then just figure out how I want this to go. And that's this piece here. All right, you can do it however you want, but I do know I'm going to need a diagonal cut. And it looks like it needs to be cut a little bit more, a little bit deeper. All right. Ooh, even a little deeper. Okay, it looks like it's going to fit now. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this here. Maybe I ink it a little bit too, to kind of continue with this color is Seedless Preserves, so we are going to preserve the word is in my mind. What we want to do is just make it, you know, create continuity. All right. So now I've got this. It's looking really cute. And let me take some scraps off of here. And so now I'm going to want to grab some of, or one of these. And this is a little wooden piece that I got from, I don't know, Hobby Lobby or some craft store. Oh no, it was probably I think I'm thinking of every single store name except the one, Dollar Tree. So I want to decide, you know, what kind of piece I want to use. I think I like that one, but let me try on another one. Ooh, I like that one. Okay. And I don't know, these are super cheap. I think it's like $1.25 for a whole bunch of these. Oh, I didn't even realize I had these. So yeah, you get it full of different shapes, and I think it's like $1.25. At least it was whenever I bought mine. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and continue using this. Just give it a little bit of color. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I want to find a button. Kind of wondering if I have one in my dinosaur box or whatever, my dragon box. And it looks like I do. That one actually kind of fits perfect, almost perfect. Maybe not that one then. It's ideal if you can use a button that is flat. And so trying to find something like that. And these are less buttons than are just extra little doodads that I got in here. But here's a button. I can use just a regular button. And so what I did, you know what, maybe I need to use like a colored button, but anyway, I think what I'll use is something like this kind of string. So this doesn't have very many ingredients, if you know what I mean. So there's just a few things that I've used, probably stuff that you already have. And all right. And so now I'm going to just do this, and this is the front, okay? So I want to tie a knot and a knot, and then I think I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to tie a bow. And I just do it the rabbit ears way. I know how to do it the other way, but I just feel like the rabbit ears way it's the way I do it for my crafting. So I want this to be nice and tight, and this is really cute. And so I'm gonna just place that there for a moment and decide if that's where I want it. And so in the meantime, let's see. There was something that I wanted to do. Something green. Where was that? Oh yeah, here we go. I thought this would look really cool on it. My other option is that I can put it like this, and then just kind of put that here, and that would probably work. So let's go ahead and see if we can try that. We'll just do it a little bit different than planned. I think this is the good side. Is there a good side and a bad side? Yeah, this is actually the more plain side. So I'm just going to do a few little swipes with my glue stick. If you have a really fine tip glue, you can use that. All right. And then we will, I think I do want to use like a really fine tip glue here. Not a super fine tip, but fine enough. Move that all around and put a few little bitty drops in a couple of different places. Oops. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this here. And then the last thing I want to do is add this on top there. So later I can cut this down if I want to, but it's really, really cute. And so I also have, in my scraps, I have a whole bunch of these tags. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple out. These are really tiny. Oh wait, maybe I can do a couple of these up here. Or at least one. All right. And then one down here, a little bitty one. All right. Set that back in my sorry about that. I'm going to set that back into my envelope where I'm holding all of the light colored scraps, and that's just my bigger scraps. Sorry about all the noises with my phone. All right. Has anyone out there made these types of book page embellishments? I love them, and they can be any color. I think I'll go ahead and snip this part off now. And that looks really cute. Really, really cute. Let's see how we doing on time. Okay. All right. And for those that are just hopping on, I will go ahead and make one more. Of these, and it's going to be for the junk journal that we're working on. So I needed something with a little bit brighter colors than this. I really like this style, but I don't know, it doesn't look so good in that. And there's actually a page in here that I made that is kind of different, and I'm sure I glued that in there without thinking before I glued. And so what I want to do next is I want to grab a little bit of fun, something fun, maybe not orange. Ooh, maybe purple. Okay, I'm going to use some fun rickrack on these. Oh, I guess I can do that like this, and perhaps I can find a different color for the other one, because I'm kind of introducing just like one new little pop of color. So, you know, it's probably feels a little weird, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway because I think that having those extra pops of color create a cool eclectic look. So let's see. Maybe I'll staple this one on here, and I'm just going to use a stapler. This is that Tim Holtz mini stapler. Oh, come on. These are always kind of weird to staple. I usually staple them from the side here because it's much easier than trying to get the staple all the way across. But of course, oh, here, maybe I can just do it this way. I think this will work. Okay, cool. There we go. All right, you can't always do that with these because most of the time, well, I can't always do it because most of the time I'm working with much larger tags. So, okay. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same with this one, but I think this one might be a little less fiddly than the other one. And I'm going to cut diagonally and then add this in here. So it's just a really cute and quick way to create a pocket. And then I'm going to go ahead and make one more. Maybe something a little bit different, but also very cohesive with all of the color. All right, one more page. I guess that doesn't matter. A lot of these were cut really weird, so I'm going to straighten all that out. Doesn't matter. All right, so now I've got my piece with all of the words on it, and it's got these gray blocks here, but let's see, I think if we do it this way it will turn out just fine. Okay, so that'll be in here, but you know, if I don't want to see that, I can always add some paper in there, and that would be fine. Let's see. What if I just add something like I'm thinking. Anyway, okay, I'll just use something like this. I can use something like this, or I can create a piece that, you know, will fit right in here, but this is fine for me. And it really doesn't have to be the same exact size, but I do want it to be flush with the edges. Like this is what I mean. So when I put this inside, I don't want there to be any hangover or anything like that. I just want it to kind of look like this. So that takes care of this, and I may need to do it again, but maybe not. Hang on. Let me get this one in just real quick. It's always fun to hide things, you know. All right, so now I'm going to create my first pocket. And there's no real special way. You just want to make sure that your two folds are parallel. And looky here, it looks like I've got some more of that gray here. And you can use, like, I don't know, something brightly colored. I'm not seeing anything right off, so I'm going to go ahead and just cover it again with this paper. And I'll take from another corner. I really do like these, the edges. And you know what? This is a way that I can get, boy, I got a lot going on right here. Hang on just a moment. I do want to set some things aside because I can feel it all closing in on me. Oh wait. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So this is kind of just going to be a little, I guess it probably would have looked better if I would have chose like a more bright color, but I'm okay with this. It's fine. Okay, and let's go ahead and just trim that. And I think what I'm going to do with this is go ahead and oh, that's not orange. Let me look for my orange one. Here it is. Okay, just replace this with this orange one and use my carved pumpkin distress oxide. Put this over here. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and just sort of give it some more color. Doesn't have to be even or anything like that, it's fine. Alright, and then I think I'm going to make a bold move here. We're not going to use carrots, but we're going to use these. I don't know what these are called, you guys, but I call them dingle balls, and that's probably not a great name. But I am going to add these here to the bottom, and I'll do that with my Bearly Art glue because it's going to be stronger. And so I have a lot of things that are just weird, you know, like these dingle balls. Oh no. Oh, stop. Okay. I better use a clip. My clips never fail me. Right. So there's that. And I think I might like to see what this would look like if I were to kind of layer them here like this, you know. Let me see what this would look like. And then here, Those carrots do not want to stay taped. And then another 2-pack here. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a few lines of this, and I'm gonna just stagger them, you know. Oh, I guess I didn't cut that one long enough. That's okay. It might be covered, but even if it's not a big deal. Make sure there's enough glue. So this is kind of wacky, huh? All right. These things are just being naughty right now. And this stuff is kind of stretchy, so I could maybe stretch it, the second one, all the way, but I don't know if I will. And then this one, I think, is short. Yeah. Okay. This one is kind of wacky, in my opinion. You know, with all these little things. Hi, Darla. Let me know later if you need help with that. Because some things kind of get weird with the shop every once in a while. So, you know, it's just we're using so much technology, there is always going to be technology mishaps and such. Okay, so I think that I want to maybe put one of those little flowers or something on here. Oops. Maybe? I don't know. Do I want to? Or do I want to just cover this up with... Oh, I remember what I wanted to do. Here. There we are. Okay. Because I have this color on the front, I wanted to create something that was going to match the front. Not that it's going to be on the front, but just, you know, it's a little more... cohesive with one of the things on the front. Well, some of them anyways. Okay, come on now. All right, and so I think I'll just go ahead and I'm going to go around, I think, the thing, because this is going to be the part that we glue down. If I wrap this around, it's going to look okay. So, we do the front first. I don't want to use too much glue because with satin ribbon, it kind of, if there's globs, it ends up looking, you end up being able to sometimes see through that. So I'm just going to head that off at the pass and go ahead and stick that on. And it doesn't look too bad. It'll dry. And so just glue this on this side. Anything that has glue on it wants to stick to everything. So all right. Still looking just okay to me. I think we need something a little colorful, so I can do the Distress Oxide, the orange one. And just color my little flower. And add that here. I'm really only going to put a little bit of glue on it. All right. And then not quite sure what else I want to do. I think there's a button that I have. Oops, sorry about that. All right, let's see if we can find anything in Allie's box. This is a box that my oldest made when she was a teenager. And I just hate to throw away things that they make, you know, especially if it can be used for something. I want to do that. All right, so we're going to look for, maybe, there's a couple things we can do. We can use like another flower right here, and that's cute. Or we can use a colored one, but that looks awfully big for this and not quite the right color. I know I probably have some kind of hidden treasure in here. No, I think I might just go ahead and go with this flower. I think it's really cute. So, yeah, let me add glue to this flower. And if you want, you can add like a little bow or something, but since I have all those dingle balls on there, I don't think I need anything else like that. So let's scooch this out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and just let this sit. Oh, it wants to come off. Stop that. All right, and I'll set that aside for now. We'll look at it later. The next thing I want to do is show you how to make this. This is super cute. It's just very simple. And if you have a whole bunch of little strips, just make sure that they're all generally the same size. You don't want to have them too much different, because sometimes if they overlap, you know, it's going to create something that looks a little bit weird. So anyway, I do prefer them to be thinner, and so I'm going to go ahead and just cut along this line right here. I'm sorry if you guys can hear Loki. She's having a tough time. This is a little too thick. So I just want 4 of each color. Maybe I'll use some of this as well. And ideally, these are better cut on a cutter, but I guess I'm not doing that this time. It's just that it makes the cuts straighter. So it doesn't end up being wonky. And don't worry if they're different sizes. It's not really a problem. There's that. And then one more. Hi, Loki. Hello, Loki. Okay, so there I've got 8 strips that I'm going to use. And then you guys should see the pile I've got over here. It's pretty crazy. And so what I'm going to do is just start layering. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to use a glue stick this time. And I'm going to just put a little strip of glue there, and I will simply just kind of crisscross it so I can get it generally straight. I'll add one of these. And this isn't the only thing that's going to hold the glue. Hold the flower together. And let's see. Hi, Loki. Hello. All right, we have to get down. I'm sorry, honey. This is Loki's job, apparently. All right, so let's see. Let me put one of these here. Make sure that it looks straight between those two. And, all right, let's see. Let me put this one, and I want to put, oop, wait a minute. I'm going to put this between these two. So I kind of want them to look, you know, like, because this one looks a little different where all the pinks are together, and I guess I didn't pay much attention to how it was coming out, but that's okay. Yeah, so I guess that's going to happen at least once. And then I'm just putting dots of glue right there in the middle and just gluing them about as straight as I can. Oh, sorry, I was off the camera for a little bit. I'll let you take a look at it again. And then I am going to pull out some, oh yeah, I'm going to pull out something that I want to use for the center. I'm going to do something different aside from a button. But first what I want to do is I want to staple this in the center, and then I want to trim these down. Just inspect it and see if everything looks okay. Some of these might be a little crooked or whatever. So this looks pretty good. So now I can put like a big blue jewel in the center, which I think looks really cute. This one I just did a few pearls, just blue pearls. I could do rhinestones also, but I really think that I'm not in the mood to fight with that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a big rhinestone sticker in the center there and be done with it. So, you can do a lot of different variations. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to put one of these rhinestone stickers on here too. And this size looks good. And I like it. These are weird, but I like it. Okay. It's pretty good. And then you would just tuck the pockets with, more tags or ephemera or whatever it is that you like. So this one is really just weird. Okay. Well, I tried. I used the dingle balls. I used them once. Those are probably better for the edge of a page, and maybe I might use some for that, for a page edge. And so let me set those aside. So there's that, and then I've got one more, and I don't think you guys need me to do this one again. This one's not very complicated, so I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys sit with that. And, you know, just vary the center, you know, each time, and it'll look a little bit different, a little bit different. Vary the papers that you use and things like that. All right, so I think I'm going to, okay, so let's see where those are, but we're going to make a flower, one more flower. Okay, and they're just going to be out of book pages. Okay, and they're really cute, very simple, really easy to make. You can make them out of you know, book print, newsprint. Newsprint might be a little thin. I'm going to do it with this paper because my punch has some trouble working with those page edges. So what I want to do is do 4, and these are about a 2-inch circle, I believe. These are double-sided. Yours don't have to be. And so what we're going to do is find the best side, you know, whichever side you like best. And I kind of like this side. It's a little more subtle. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a hamburger fold and then another hamburger fold. Do you guys know what that is? I used to homeschool my kids, so we called some, well, I guess this one would be like a hot dog fold because it's like if I do it this way. Is that right? Anyway, hamburger folds and hot dog folds. Circles are a little weird to put those kinds of names on. So, but we're just going to go ahead and create 4 of these. And then I am going to cut, I sort of like using pinking shears on this. Uh-oh, what's happening with my pinking shears here? Okay. And I'll just kind of just go around and just, instead of putting the scissors around the pinking shears, like, you know, going like that, I'm just moving this. And so all right. Looks like that one's going to be a little short. Going to have to make a correction. No problem though. Okay. So now we need a base, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and just use a piece of this as my base. A piece of cardstock would be fine. Just like a 1-inch or 1.5-inch circle would be fine. And I'm just going to put a bunch of glue on it. And actually, let's go ahead and do this right now. And I'm just going to kind of lay each one onto, let's do this way, each quadrant of this circle. So So this is what we've got now. All right. So, so these are sticking up. I think it would be cute to go ahead and just leave them this way. And I think I'm going to do that here. So I'm going to go ahead and find another center. And it's going to be really small because I kind of want these just to stick up. So I'm going to use one of these really small ones and see if that works okay, and if it will allow these to go ahead and stick up still. Yes, it will, but a lot of the glue came off of here. How about this pink one? Maybe this pink one would be good. These ones are super sticky, so. And these ones are generally like, they're kind of hooked together. So if you don't want a string of these, then you just cut one off. And there is a little bit of excess on it, but that's okay to get, or that's easy to get rid of, or not, because that's just a clear piece of glue, it seems like. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and set this in the center. And it looks like it's working. All right, so there's one flower. I think that's really pretty. And I do think the pearl in the center will need to be glued with a stronger glue, like Bearly Art or something. But for now, I'm going to leave that aside. But I will show you what it's like when we use, or when we actually glue those things down, and we'll do it a little bit different. I'm just going to use the same paper because it's what I have right here. And let me grab one of these. Ooh. All right. So I'm going to not talk because I need to get this done quickly. And then we're going to sign off because I've only got 4 minutes and then I got to be on Twitch. So on Twitch, we'll go ahead and continue to create embellishments. Oh, I guess I need to fold all these, and I can set it down as I fold it. Okay, let me adjust this a little bit. If you get them off center, don't worry. Do a little surgery. And so now these are all down like that, and we've got a round flower. So now we can pull the edges up and away from each other because we've got a few layers. Okay, so now we've got this, and the last thing is a button. So we can put a big one or a small one. I'm just going to put this big one because for the lack of time. You can also like tie a little piece of string through it if you want to. Here, let's do this again. Oops. Okay, I need to hold that tight. All right. And so there, we've got 2 flowers. And I think they're really cute. All right, so I'm going to hop off, and then I am going to be on Twitch. If you'd like to join me, I'm at twitch.tv, Junk Journal Boss, and I will see you over there. Bye-bye.